All right, the best in the world.
Look at my eyes. What do you see?
The cult of personality. Yes, the best in the world. The needle mover himself. I don't want to hear nothing about him not being a needle mover anymore. I don't want to hear that.
The real needle mover was MJF. Okay. Or your boy, Wild Thing. Ding, ding, ding. You make my heart sing.
Yeah, we're going to cut that off right now.
She's a huge fan of Mox if you
not.
haven't caught on.
No, I'm not. So, the news with CM Punk, there's so many different, obviously, opinions about it. And the thing I want to first start off with saying is I don't think any of the opinions are inherently wrong. Whether you are on CM Punk's side or whether you are not on his side, I think there's valid points for both sides of the camp, to be honest. My thing, personally, even though I'm a CM Punk fan, I do not like the way he's going about things. I don't like the way he's acting. I don't like the way he's really kind of burying his own legacy. At the same time, I feel like this is a hell of the Elite's own making, meaning, and TK, meaning that everything that is happening is because of their poor leadership. You know, this company's been around for several years and CM Punk only just came in. Meaning, if he's already tearing down the company from within, I don't feel like y'all had a stable foundation to begin with.
Well, the stable foundation left. Adrenaline in my soul. His name is Cody Rhodes.
Okay, so we're just making up lyrics now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know y'all don't know what the lyrics are to that song. But yeah, and but that goes to prove my point. It's like if Cody Rhodes also left,
because you remember, there was like little things here and there. You know, Cody Rhodes not messing with the Elite as heavy. He stopped being the Elite as much.
Yeah,
there was little rumblings last year. The seeds was planted for Cody Rhodes last year,
right?
But of course, everybody's whole thing. Oh, this is a work. Yeah. Everything is a work. Everybody is so scared of being fooled or whatever, or that everything is a work.
Honestly, my opinion is I wish these things were work. I wish the people in charge were this clever and this well thought of and could think this far into the future. But no, it's not. These things are not that well thought out. Obviously, a lot of people thought it was a work for a very long time. And I feel like there's still even some people who still think it's a work now. And it's like, it's obviously not. The problem is, and this is what we've been saying, even when in our MJF video, that AEW has a serious problem with not upholding a certain standard. There is no standard in AEW. You can botch as much as you want. You can curse as much as you want. You can leave whenever you want, come back in whenever you want, demand whatever you want. There is absolutely no standard. And a lot of people blame that on TK, probably rightfully so, saying that he just wants to be everybody's friend. I do think that that's a component. But at the same time, my thing with TK is I think he just doesn't know what he's doing.
And especially after he purchased Ring of Honor, and a lot of people was fearful of that because it's just like he purchased Ring of Honor when the interest for AEW was slowly going down. It wasn't in the state that it is now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he didn't purchase it when AEW was at a high. You know what I'm saying? So it's like TK needs to get everything together. He needs to boss up, and get these people in check.
Honestly, I think TK needs to be a silent partner. I think
be the funding guy.
Yeah, he needs to find somebody. Like I feel like he needs to give it to like a Regal or something. I don't know.
No, Regal definitely going back to WWE.
I feel like he needs to hire somebody to be the boss, to do all the ugly stuff, to do all the hard work, and just sign the checks, because right now this is ridiculous. I mean, not only did CM Punk do that scrum where he said all that stuff,
people got
but
injured.
He said it right next to TK.
Yeah, he was just sitting there,
just roasting the entire locker room.
Yeah,
right next to him. There was absolutely no fear in that man whatsoever.
You wouldn't be able to do that in front of a Triple H. You wouldn't be able to do that in front of Vince.
Right.
We say what we want about Vince, but nobody's just gonna dog out his people like right in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially like bosses, And
the thing with CM Punk is that some part of me feels like he's almost testing TK to see how much he can get away with before TK actually puts his foot down. CM Punk does strike me as that type of guy. Once again, I do like him. Like, man is golden on the mic, and y'all know how much I prefer people who can cut great promos, people who are great on the mic. I'll always give them the edge because I love people who can go out and rile a crowd up and be the good guy or be the bad guy.
Heal it up.
But the problem with this situation is that it's now getting to a level where it can't. It's off the rails. You know, it's off the rails. What I think TK needs to move to the side, become a silent partner. I think y'all need to stop the scrums for a while. That may be an unpopular opinion, but y'all need to stop the scrums for a little while.
Well, granted, they only do scrums whenever they do a pay-per-view, and they only do about like 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year.
I mean, granted, but look how much has happened in just these few interview moments.
Well, this specific scrum was probably like badly timed because there was already heat going into this scrum.
Right.
You know, going back weeks ago when we was hearing the whole rumblings about Hangman Page and CM Punk calling out Hangman Page on live TV. And you see what all this built up tension led to. It led to a brawl.
Yeah.
It led to people getting injured.
People getting bit.
And it wasn't even CM Punk's dog.
Right.
It wasn't even CM Punk's dog. What's that thing? Larry or something like that?
But you know what? That also goes back because you and I had this conversation about Kiera Hogan a couple of months ago.
Period.
Please get that woman off my TV screen. We had this conversation where I said that the thing about WWE that sets them apart with everybody else is that their performers, their superstars are in tight lockdown. They cannot just go and say and do whatever it is that they want. But you have people like the Young Bucks getting into Twitter beefs.
Top dollar.
Yeah, you have Eddie Kingston getting into fights with Sammy Guevara. Like, there's absolutely no control. And so for the Young Bucks, it says a lot that they are in a position of power and they're willing to sacrifice that power and be somebody else's follower just to get out of that company. So for those of you guys who, I mean, you probably guys have heard, but there are rumors that the Young Bucks want to go to WWE.
They express interest. You know, they've been sending feelers because they got friends over there. They got Kevin Owens. They got AJ Styles. Got Finn Balor. They got a whole bunch of guys over there that they're friends with, that they're cool with.
Now, listen, if y'all want to go over there and be in matches with, you know, Jinder Mahal and Shanky.
Jinder Mahal!
Then by all means, go ahead, do that. But it says a lot that they're willing to give up a position of power.
But the thing is, when Cody came over, Cody was saying like he ain't taking a role like that no more.
Yeah,
it went into a lot of just managing the wrestling company.
But he had that pull.
But you know what? It made Cody who he is today. So I know Cody's not feeling any regrets because the man is a freaking megastar.
He got out when he needed to.
He literally took the greatest gamble in wrestling history and it succeeded. Yeah. And this dude is bigger than life, man.
Yeah. And I think this is also going to be an unpopular opinion. A lot of people are saying who should be the ones to leave, the Elite or CM Punk. Me personally, I would prefer the Elite to leave. I'm not saying over CM Punk, but the Elite right now, it is carrying the company. And I think what the problem with AEW is that it is just as precarious as WWE. Remember when everybody was like, yo, Roman Reigns, WWE has nobody? I feel like AEW is like, if it's not the Elites and if it's not Mox and CM Punk, you know, we're not getting to really see those other superstars, those other wrestlers. And I feel like they need to step aside and let them rise up. Like let the MJFs, let the tag teams, let the Jungle Boys, let the Darby Allins, let all of them carry the company.
The Claim, Swerve in our glory.
Oh, okay, not that one.
She's a huge fan of Swerve.
But yeah, let them carry the company and then they'll prove that they can do it. But honestly, can AEW survive without them both? Absolutely. I would rather keep CM Punk as long as he's kept on a tight leash. So
quickly, if the Bucks and Omega came over to WWE, would you be for it?
Honestly, I don't feel like I would be seeing them as much as I do now, so I would be fine.
Might be a balance too.
Yeah. I feel like I don't even think they would be on the same brand.
I just want to see the Bucks lose to the Usos. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I would be okay with that because they have something else to balance them out.